So, I just want to be brief about the things that happened. I've already made 2 recordings now, talking about situations going on in my life, and I feel like they were just like really drawn out, and I just want to be kind of concise about what happened. As you may or may not know, I was living in a place where I was hoping to make it more of a collective kind of space where we could have like trans and queer and black, primarily POC, but black trans queer people, come together and just be able to create and live in a very anti-capitalist setting. We had found out that our landlord was actually not our landlord. It was just like some person who just felt entitled to it was just someone who felt entitled to take money and was actually not paying any taxes, wasn't doing anything for the actual house. But when push came to shove, we found out that our apartment, or rather our home, was being put up for... Sorry. Right. So shortly we find that we don't have any rent to pay. We just have to pay the utilities. So after like doing some figuring, we figured out it would be about like $60 to $80 per person, depending on influxes in usage of like water and air and things like that. And it got to a point where, I was like actively like planning on filling the space with, like, as I said, black, trans, and queer folks. And my roommate was more interested in making it into a hostel, which I was open to, but I wasn't like really openly entertaining the idea of running a hostel. And to be honest with you, when I think of a hostel, I think of people not from the space that you're living in, or rather not from the state you're in, coming from outside, coming to visit, and then leaving, and knowing when they're leaving, and knowing like how long they're going to be here for. My roommate decided, because they're on some white savior shit, they were going to go and invite a person of color that they met through a soup kitchen. And my roommate is a trans person, is a trans woman who told me that they were not interested in living with cis dudes, and they were not interested in living like long term with anyone other than myself. And I was like, okay, I feel that. However, when they brought this cis person of color into the home, it was kind of off-putting, because that person immediately sexualized me, objectified me, and just really made me feel uncomfortable in my space. And also like mispronounced my roommate, and it was just very awkward for me, because I had like this notion that if you were feeling like compelled to let someone live in your space, it would be someone who isn't going to disrespect you or disrespect other people in your home. And I mean, although accidents do happen, I just feel like if like within like the first 5 minutes of me talking to you, you fuck up my vibe like so hard, it's just like really hard for me to like really trust your judgment. So immediately upon that person like being brought into the house after the pregnant person that I was talking about in my last video, I was just kind of like feeling some type of way about my roommate, and I kind of was like harboring some like ill feelings. And also just in general, I was feeling like not really like supported in like what we even talked about prior. I also want to mention that like me and my roommate had a conversation about how I was going to put a bill in my name, they were going to put a bill in their name, and that way we would have like a way to like have like equal ownership of the space, or rather. But like it wasn't like supposed to be like this really like entitled wording. It was more so like, just like, you have a bill in your name, I have a bill in my name, and that's what matters. And what it turned out to be was my roommate actually woke up earlier than me the day before, earlier than we actually had talked about, because we had a conversation about this. They actually put both of the bills in their name and just went on their business. and were claiming that it was in solidarity, but at the same time, I just didn't feel that way. I feel like in a lot of ways, I feel like them being a white person, them having to confront their white privilege and the white supremacist system and capitalism and all these things, I feel like their best idea to do that would be to take on all the financial burden, which is not at all confronting your privilege. If anything, that's exacerbating it, because you have the opportunity to put 2 bills in your name, and you have the ability, as I saw or as I witnessed, to bring it up and, you know, say to me, oh, well, you know, how can you have any say when I have my name on this bill, this piece of paper, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, I was like, oh, that's awesome that you put the bills in your name, because I felt like they were like thinking about me, and they were just like, you know, I don't want to like put more on this person's plate than like they need. But in retrospect, like, I realized that that was like my own naive way of thinking. Now, fast forward to my phone gets stolen, and I presume it is the person that my roommate brought in after Katie. And so I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this person being here. I want them to leave immediately. And so my roommate was like, no problem, and told them that they need to leave. They made a remark saying that they were going to come back to get their bedroll at a later time, and my roommate said that that was fine, and I also said that that was fine, but I was under the impression that there would be somebody here to supervise this person. It turned out that when I left the home, I had left my computer in my room, and I had locked both of my doors and had gone out. From the way I was told the story, Katie was outside on the porch, lets the person into the house to grab their bedroll, which is on the 2nd floor. This person never grabs their bedroll. They go directly into my room, take my computer, and when Katie finally comes into the house, she notices that the door in my room is open and it wasn't before. So she confronts him and tells me later on when I come home that that's the reason why she is holding my computer outside of the home, because she confronted this person in our home who had taken my computer, got it back, and then was outside waiting for me to give it back to me. The story sounded sus as fuck, I'm not gonna lie to you, but at the same time, I got my computer back, so I was kind of just like, I'm annoyed, but I still have my computer, so like all the annoyance I feel kind of like feels unjustified, but whatever. And I think it's also because like the day before my phone was stolen, so I was kind of in a headspace where it was like everything's being taken from me, love nothing, move on, you know what I mean, just trying not to like be too caught on attached to my materials. However, my computer, like the whole time I've been in New Orleans, is what's been helping me like survive. Like me doing tarot card readings online has been very lucrative for me, and as I said before, it's not so much for the money, although it does feel amazing to be proficient, if not more so, in something that you really enjoy to do, and something that isn't like actively harming people and like isn't like contributing to like something like fucked up happening to someone. However, you know, I was kind of just like in this like haze where I was like, you know, fuck material possessions, move on, like live and let live, prosper, blah blah blah. But of course, when I got my computer back, I was fucking pumped. So then, after I get my computer back, I'm like solidified, and like after I get my computer back, I'm like pretty much like ready for like Katie to leave the house. I'm like, okay, now we already got this other person at the house that was stealing, that we caught stealing. Now I kind of want Katie to leave, because like I still don't like them in the house, because they were doing a lot of things that were just very risky and just like things that I wasn't really comfortable with in the house. And I felt like because we were able so quickly to kick out this person that we brought in from the street, like we would be able to just kick this person, Katie, out as well. But then my roommate starts telling me how Katie's pregnant and da 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 and da 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 da, and I'm like, well, I understand that, but at the same time, like, I'm not really feeling comfortable with them staying here. And like the conversation really didn't go anywhere, and I was like trying to regroup myself, and I ended up talking to my neighbor and telling my neighbor just how I was feeling, and my neighbor confirmed for me that like Katie was doing heroin, Katie was selling heroin, and like I was just like feeling some type of way, because it's like, yo, like I don't even know if this dude that we brought off the street really did steal from me, because maybe like the computer was like his first like time hitting me up. Maybe Katie hit me up first, and then he was like, oh, I'm gonna hit you up because then maybe you'll think it was Katie and blah blah. Who fucking knows? I'm thinking all types of stuff. So my neighbor is messy as fuck and decides to talk to Katie about like what I said about how I didn't want them to live there anymore. Katie knocks on my door and says, I need to talk to you. And I say to them, what's up? And then they come at me hella crazy like, yo, what is this I'm hearing about you want me out the house? That you trying to kick me out. Just acting hella fucking rah-rah. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna just relax because like, I don't want to bug on you because I already don't fucking like you. Like, I'm already at a point with you. So it's like, I'm trying to be hella cool with you because like, I don't want nothing to get too crazy. So I'm like, you know what? I was like, I did express to our neighbor that I was not feeling you living here because the vibe has been off ever since you like really started living here. You only been here for like a week and you know, like things have been missing. And not only that though, but at one point in time, like after I got my computer back, I had $24 in my purse, like scattered in my purse, like different compartments in my purse. And I closed my purse, zipped it up, left it on the kitchen table. I left the house for maybe 10 minutes. Like I literally went down the block to get my bike. I was in a car, down the block, got my bike, rolled my bike back up the block. Like I really wasn't that far gone. But when I got back into the house, I'm going through my purse, all my money gone. So now I'm bugging because I'm like, what the fuck? Like the only people that was in this house when I got here was my roommate B and this bitch Katie. So now I'm bugging because I'm like, damn B, like you never stole from me as far as I'm concerned. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm thinking it's Katie. So I'm like, all right, well, Katie hit me up and like, that's not cool. And I'm bugging and I'm going off in the house. So I'm like, yo, y'all are trying to make me feel like I'm losing my mind. Like, I don't like this shit. Like, that's not cool to me. And I'm bugging extra hard because I'm just like, I can't live like that. And that's when I started like getting my plan together. I'm like, you know what? I need my APOC people. I need y'all to come out. I need y'all to do the damn thing. And that's when I made the video. Now, I kind of mixed up things. Katie confronted me after I made the video. Didn't see the video, but confronted me after because that's when my neighbor, after my neighbor talked to Katie, Katie came at me, and that was after I made the video telling APOC people to come live at my house. And me and Katie are going back and forth because I'm like, Katie, I'm just not feeling the vibe. Like, I just don't want to live with you no more. I'm kind of sick of this shit for real. Like, I leave my purse on the table, only I leave my purse on the table, only you and B is here, but all my shit is gone now. That don't make no sense. Like, either you stole from me or they stole from me, and either way, it's not cool to me. So if I gotta kick you out and then eventually kick them out, then that's what's gonna have to fucking happen. But until we can figure out who the fuck is thieving and who the fuck is living wild out here, I'm not gonna deal with it. Like, you need to leave. And then they start telling me some shit like, this ain't even your fucking house. You're not even on the lease. And no tea, but it's a squat at this point. There is no fucking lease because the house just got sold by the bank to a fucking person that lived around the corner. So to be real, that person don't even have the motherfucking deed or the lease or no property agreement just yet. The shit is still under the state's regulation. So if we want to be real here, that lease is null and motherfucking void. Not to mention the fact that homie went behind my back and put their name on both of the bills, negating the fact that I'm paying these bills, that I paid them cash money. And so I'm bugging kind of because like this bitch is really up in my house, like only been in my house for like 7 days, gonna try to tell me what the fuck I did in this house, whether or not I'm on a lease or not, whether or not I'm paying bills or not, whether or not the bills in my name. And I'm like, this is some bullshit because bitch, for you to even live here, me and my roommate had to have a conversation about you coming here. So now you thinking you equal, now you thinking you part of the fucking pie and shit, but bitch, you ain't doing shit in the house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of bugging on that because it's like, it would be one thing if, like, you know, you trying to contribute to the house in any fucking way. All you do is sleep, eat, go outside, chill on the porch, and come back inside. That's all you're doing. And I'm not going to front on nobody who's chilling hard out there, but it's like, son, like, I wanted an intentional space. And I just didn't see why I had to, like, sacrifice that for some, like, random-ass white bitch who's, like, living in my house acting a fool. And keep in mind, like, we're in confrontation mode right now. Like, I'm telling her all the reasons why I don't want to live with her no more. And I'm like, listen, like, you using the word nigga around me is not cool. The fact that, like, you keep wearing my fucking shoes and I keep bringing up the fact that you're wearing my fucking shoes and you think that it's funny. But, like, my shoes are broken and you still haven't paid me the money that you owed me. Because if you seen the last video, homie been owing me $30. And I hit them up like, what up? And then they're going to tell me some shit about them shoes ain't even worth $30 and da-da-da. I'm like, bitch, please. Your fat ass know Torrid like my fat ass know Torrid. And actually, you probably don't. Like, no tea. I'm not trying to give too much to Torrid neither. But I'm just saying, like, homegirl, like, I realize, like, I have a cute little style. Or rather, like, when I want to be super femme, I got some cute super femme clothes. As far as this person wearing and taking my shit and trying to swagger jack me, bitch, whatever. Don't try to fucking come for me because, like, It just pissed me off. Like, it made me want to like rip her fucking hair out. Cause I was like, how you gonna tell me my shoes wasn't even worth $30 when you and I both know we got banana boat feet and we can't even find fucking size 11s, not no fucking wear. But you gonna tell me them shoes wasn't worth $30? Bitch, I feel kind of the same way. But at the same motherfucking time, $30 for a pair of 11s, bitch, that's a fucking deal. No tea, no motherfucking tea. A cute pair of size 11 wides, bitch. That is a motherfucking steal. So like for her to try to come for me, like in that way I was bugging, and you know, and like she's just constantly saying like fucking like flagrant ass shit. And my roommate is actually outside on the porch, and I don't know this because me and her are like going back and forth in the living room. And then when I see her go to the door to like leave, because she's doing this thing where she's bugging out and then acting like she's walking away because like she's trying to save me or some shit like that, like she gonna fight me or some shit. And I'm kind of tickled because I'm like, yo, I'm not even bugging on you like I could be bugging on you, and you acting hella shit by walking away, constantly walking away. So I'm kind of laughing. I'm playing this bitch like camera, and I'm like, oh, look, he mad, doggy, he mad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm dying because like this bitch is acting hella shook while trying to act rah-rah at the same time. It's just not really coming across. So I'm just like kind of dead. And when I see my roommate outside, I'm like, yo, what's going on with this? Because like at this point, they're going into like some like transphobic ass fucking rant about how they pause. I brought up a situation where the Bible's fucked up. I was like, yo, I was like case in point. Well, not really case in point, but another case of why I don't want you to stay here is you sleeping in the living room, meaning you ain't got no fucking door, no privacy, which is tough. I feel that sucks. However, you're in the living room, meaning you're in a space that's like, it's a common room. If you about to be fucking in there, you should probably like let people know. It was just me in the crib at the time. I was the only one in the house, and I was in my room. Homie could have just came and knocked on the door and been like, yo, I got company out here. Point blank. That's all you need to say. I got company. That's all you need to do. That's the heads up, bitch. But why the fuck do I have people coming to the crib? And my people's got keys to the crib, because like my friend Cody at one point was like trying to live at my house until all this shit popped off. But at this time Cody still had a key, so Cody unlocks the door, comes in, and like just sees like them in mid-coitus, and it's just like, son, it's like no one is trying to slut shame you, no one's trying to hate on you for your stilo. It's just like, bitch, like you gotta give people a heads up, and that's some shit I don't want to live with. I'm not trying to creep through my fucking living room because somebody trying to have a guest over and not tell nobody. That's crazy. So then they were like, oh, please, you get dick down every night, Cody come to your house every day, and and I'm dead, because it's like, me and Cody, the most intimate thing we've ever done is give each other hand massages. Like, no tea. Like, to be real. We're just good friends, and we understand each other, and we have a lot of similarities in our lives, and it's just been really great to like know them. But as far as like me having sex with Cody, that's not happening. That's not, I don't even need to explain, but it's like, it just made me laugh that like me trying to explain to this bitch courtesy led her to like come at me and try to say, oh, well, you fucking homie over here, and da-da-da-da. And then on top of it, after I was like laughing because it was so absurd, homie was like, oh, well, I guess not, because you trying so hard to be a man, huh? You trying so hard to be a man, but you ain't never gonna be a man. And I'm like, whoa, bitch, like, I'm not trying to be no man. Like, no, I'm not playing with my hair to be like funny, but it's like, I'm not trying to be no fucking man. Like, I'm sorry that like you're seeing me participate in gender in ways that you don't identify with or understand, but like that's not me trying to be a man. And furthermore, you saying that me and Cody aren't having sex because I'm trying to be a man and he's a man, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Anybody can have sex with anybody. Like, there's really no precursor for having sex other than like having sex. Honestly, like, you have sex, you have sex. So I was just getting tickled pink throughout that whole conversation. Then at one point, the neighbor from across the street gonna come in the doorway, and I already don't fucking like this dude because he stay wearing a shirt that says "Poo hoes disgust me," and on the back it says "Stop wearing rainbow hoe," basically making fun of like people that he assumes to be ugly and or poor, and then also making fun of people who shop at Rainbow when no tea, Rainbow got some cute clothes. Everybody that want to hate on Rainbow, bitch, shut up, because Rainbow got some cute fashions. I don't care what nobody says. But anyways, moving along. homie from across the street gonna get in the doorway and go and talk about some what's going on. I hear y'all across the street. This is a quiet block. Blah 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 blase. And it's like it could be a quiet block all motherfucking day, bitch. It's not a quiet block right now. And honestly, like I was like all I said to him was, I'm sorry, like why are you here? And then my roommate gonna tell me some shit like, oh, that's our next door neighbor. I'm like, bitch, that's not our next door neighbor. That's the nigga that lives across the street first. Second, I don't fuck with this nigga. Third, why the fuck is he in the fucking doorway getting in the middle of me and like you and the Katie's beef? Because in reality, there is no beef here. This bitch need to leave. You feel me? Like there really wasn't that much dialogue necessary. I will agree that I was messy as fuck by involving my neighbor into the dispute. However, I think that like that popping off kind of made things more escalated in a positive way at the time. It seemed I was like, okay, we're like we all on the same page. I don't want you here, and you fucking up. So then we get into, like, I end up exiting the conversation because I'm just like, I can't anymore. Like, I can't be yelling at y'all. Like, I don't have time for this. I gotta back up. And so I dip, but right before I dip, Katie gonna start trying to cry and tell me all types of shit and stuff like that. And then at one point, you know, we get into that conversation about how I'm like, I don't want Katie saying the word nigga around me. They're gonna have to change that shit. And then my roommate gonna tell me some shit like, well, they're from a certain socioeconomic class and da 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 da. And I'm like, wait, so are you trying to say that black people is poor, so that's why poor people can say nigga because they are black? That's the logic that my roommate was using, and that's what I said when I said, you know, just because a white person ain't talking don't mean they listening. Just because a white person sitting next to you gesturing like they're an ally don't mean that they're a fucking ally. Because somebody who was an ally wouldn't have said that shit to me. They wouldn't have said, Katie, the white person in the house, oh, they could say nigga because they poor. That don't make no fucking sense to me. That sounds wild to me. But anyways, moving on. I end up trying to leave the conversation, and Katie starts crying, talking about something she don't have nowhere to go, and she don't want to stay at a shelter. And I'm like, listen, I understand that you don't want to stay at a shelter, but like, I just wish you would have like thought about like your alternatives when you was fucking up in this space. It's not like I told you once or twice that you were doing things that was fucking up the space for me. I told you over and over again, and like now I'm at a point where it's like I don't want to tell you no more shit. I don't have no more to say to you. I'm ready for you to leave. The vibe is fucked up. You can leave now. It's time for you to go. And so then she gets on the phone, starts talking to this dude, starts crying, hooping and hollering, talking about she don't got no place to go, blase, blase. And I just walk the fuck off because it's like, son, I don't have time for that. If I'm living somewhere or I'm staying somewhere and niggas is like letting me stay and I ain't contributing shit to the crib, how the fuck I look fucking shit up and then acting like, oh, I ain't got nowhere to go? Bitch, you should have thought about that. I don't have time for that shit. That's not really my problem. No tea. So I go to my room, I'm in my room, and a couple hours pass, my roommate knocks on my door and like reads me this letter about how like they want to have solidarity with me and how they really want to like work through things and they want to talk about situations that are going on in the house and they really want to have a dialogue. And I'm like, there is no dialogue though. Like people keep stealing from me, keep taking things from me, and also about the $30, this bitch told me she had the money for me, but didn't want to give it to me. So it's like, this bitch already like, she already in my mind stole that 24 from me, you feel me? Because I even asked my roommate, I'm like, Babs, did you take $24 from me? When I left my purse on the table, it was only you and Katie in this house. Did you take $24 from me? They're going to sit there and be talking about something. I'm not going to do deductive reasoning to figure out who took your money. I'm like, well, bitch, then you just fucking told me all I need to know. You're not going to tell me you didn't take it because you know this bitch took it. End of story. Or you took it. And either way, I don't like living with fucking thieves, so I'm done. And there's nothing wrong with thief culture. I'm just trying to say in your house, I'm not down with thief culture in your house. I'm down with stealing from a corporation. I'm down from stealing from a rich person. I'm not down with stealing from someone who you're living in the house with. And y'all niggas is like all living together, all smoking and eating together, trying to like make shit meet together, and then like have niggas like really just like be out doing their own individualistic shit. It's just not gonna work for me. So after my roommate and I have this conversation, they say to me, you know what, if it is going to help, I will leave, because they said I don't feel safe if Katie leaves. If Katie has to move out, I'm gonna leave too. And I was like, your safety is contingent on Katie? And they said yes. And I'm like, okay. And at the time I didn't realize what that meant, so I was letting the shit roll. I was like, okay, boo, well, bye, you know what I mean, peace, see ya. And so I thought that that was gonna be fucking that. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm excited now because I'm like, word, Katie's leaving and Babs is leaving. I'm pumped about it. I'm excited about it. Because I'm like, I don't have no time for no backwards ass fucking white apologist, and I sure as fuck don't have no time for no bullshit ass white supremacist bitch talking about how could she be racist when she got biracial kids and she only fuck black men. Girl, if I need to explain it to ya, you never got it. You never understood. So get the fuck out of my face. So I'm excited. I'm celebrating, bitch. I'm celebrating. I'm excited. I don't know if you follow me on Tumblr. You might have seen the post. I was like, hallelujah. I was like, the white supremacists and white saviors are gone. And I was like so hype about it. I was so excited. And I invited like one of my friends over to the house. And Cody actually was already there. So it was me and my two friends in the house. And we were chilling and just having a good time. And then I get a knock at the door. And I go check the door, and like, here's what's funny to me. The first time Katie knocked on my door, the bitch stood like probably like 3 feet away from me while talking to me. This time, this bitch knocked on the door. As soon as I get up to open the door, this bitch way the fuck in the front of the house. Talk about something. I'm calling the police if you don't get your stuff. You have until tonight to get your stuff, and if you don't, I'm calling the police on you. And I'm looking at her like, on. Bitch, you over here. Like, I'm bugging. I'm fucking bugging. I'm like dying. I'm like, son. You know what I mean? And it's like, the thing that had me dead was like, homie's name is on the sheriff page. You feel me? So it's like, how you gonna fucking call the pole on me and you got the pole on you? So, go ahead. I'm filming a video, so are you like to hang out here? So I'm like, so low-key, I'm dead as fuck that this bitch like really tried it. But no shade though, like I don't fuck with the police, I really don't. So I decided to take my black ass on back to my room and call my peoples and see like what the fuck they're doing. Cause like even though I had two of my friends there, I'm like, I really don't like the idea of like me being kind of like not having like all my peoples here with me, because I really don't know what the fuck is about to go down, you know what I mean? So I call the people of the Quilombo house over to my home, and you know, they come over and I let them know the situation. I'm like, you know, Katie just threatened to call the police on me. You know, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck can be done, because keep in mind, like, you know, we're not gonna play like privilege don't exist. This is a white woman in the South who has already evaded arrest by passing on her crime to her black fiance, which she told me point blank and had no fucks to give. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, I don't really want a white person calling the police on me and trying to lie on me, and then next thing I know, I'm in fucking jail, because like, I'm just like not about that life. Like, I can say that honestly and truly to you. I'm not a jail type nigga. So I'm just like, all right, well, we need to figure out something, because I don't know what's going on. And even though it sounded crazy to me that like they were gonna call the police were gonna come to my house and be like, you have all your shit in a room. You have all your shit on a couch in the living room. Who really lives here? You know what I mean? Who fucking knows? You know what I mean? I don't know how this is gonna go down. So I call my people as they come over. And, you know, they're all like, you know what, we're about to camp out in this motherfucker. Like, we're going to be here for you. We appreciate you. We love you. And it was just, like, so comforting to, like, be around people that really, like, could see me and really, like, love me and, like, want to be around me and want to, you know, help me out in this situation. Because, like, I was shook as fuck, as I said. So, it ends up being that a couple hours pass. Not even a couple hours, like 2 hours pass, right? And like I said, I had Cody and my other friend. They were at my house, and then my other 3 friends came over to be supportive of me when the police were being threatened to be called. And so my friend that was here with me earlier was outside on the porch, and when we all went out on the porch, they had said that like a dude came up on the porch with a gun and was looking to shoot somebody. And I'm scared as fuck, because I'm like, that is like that's scary as fuck. Like my friend, like one of my peoples was like sitting there telling me like, yeah, a nigga came up to the porch like he was about to shoot up. You know, like he came right on the fucking porch. He was on the stairs. He didn't give a shit. And like that had me so scared, because it's like, you know, it's been a minute since my life has been threatened, and like I was like, I've been just feeling really growing out here, and in a way like my growth has led me to feel a little untouchable, a little bit like, you know, damn, I'm doing it. Like, I'm really, like, creating my own destiny. I'm really, like, in charge of myself. And at the same time, like, someone, like, threatening to take my life really like had me like, whoa. So I tell all my people, let's go in the house, let's go back in the house, let's go to the back of the house, let's go into my room, I'm gonna lock the door, that's where we're gonna stay. A couple minutes later, we hear a knock at the door, a voice I never heard before. And they say their name is Black, and they say that they said open up the door, and they sound very like menacing in their tone. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, what do you need? Like, what do you need? And like, I'm asking them questions, like trying to like, you know, figure out what they're here for, what's going on, and they're not being really compliant at all to me. And so I'm scared because I'm just like, you know, who knows what is gonna happen with this person? Who knows like what's next in this situation? And so I end up going. You know, we end up like trying to figure out like ways to like leave this house, because like we have really no idea of like how we're gonna get out, because like the front door as we know it is like being barricaded by this person who basically says they have a gun. They said that they want to show us something real gangsta, and they said, why don't we come out? And I was like, no, because like fuck that. But at the same time, like time is getting like real tight, like we're just really like we're essentially trapped like rats in the back of my house, because the only way out of my room is through the back door, and then you have to go through the side of the house, and there's mad shit on the side of the house. So it's really like the only way really out is the other way, and we can't go out that way. And we're over here contemplating jumping over the fucking barbed wire fence, which is next to my window, putting a blanket on the shit and just like jumping across. And then like next thing you know, like the knocks get more and more frequent, and it sounds more, there's more threats coming through, and we're getting scared as fuck. So what ends up happening is we go to so the knocks are becoming more. So the knocks are becoming more and more frequent, and I'm bugging because it's like I don't know like what's going on, like what our plan is, because we still haven't really decided whether or not we're running through the back door or we're gonna like try to go through the front. And the next thing we know, like we shut my bedroom door because it's like a 2-room shotgun, so the front door is locked, and then there's a room, and then there's my door, and then there's my room, and then there's the back door. So we're in my room, we shut my door, lock it, and push my dresser against the door. And you know, one of my friends is like, you know, this will buy us some time, you know, because like I don't know how soon it is before they kick through that front door. And like I already heard my roommate tell me that they kicked down that door before, like a couple months ago, so I was just kind of worried like it's possible that this person can get in. And so keep in mind, like, it's how many people? My friend, one of my friends, the person that was on the porch that saw the gun the first time, had already dipped. Like, we didn't even know what was going on in that situation. And I felt bad, but at the same time, I never told my friend to sit outside and like go see what's popping off. At every instance, wherever the fuck I was at, I'm like, will y'all come with me? Will y'all go with me this way? It's like if I went outside, they came with me outside. If I went back inside, they came with me inside. That person was the only person that like stayed on the porch and was just chilling out there, just watching the block. And like, while I respect them for like doing that, at the same time, I didn't ask you to do all that. You know what I mean? To be honest, when they came over, there was no threat of the police. There was no threat of a person shooting anyone. So like, they were feeling some type of way about everything popping off, and we ended up getting into a fight at a later date, which really has me fucked up, because it's like, you know, imagine my situation, you know what I mean? Like, me and people I love, not just that one person who was on the porch, but other people I love are like, we're in danger. Like, we're in the back of a house, trapped like some fucking dogs, like being threatened by somebody that we don't even fucking know on behalf of somebody else who is like fucking up hella shit in my house. So it's just like, it's mind-boggling to think that you could like at any point in time internalize this shit and be like, I'm mad at you, Tatiana, for putting me in this situation, because it's like, bitch, if I would have known that this is how shit was gonna play out, do you really think I would have done any of the shit that I've been doing? Like, don't you think I would have like changed my fucking path? But at the same time, it's like, how can I fault somebody for being like in a really crazy situation, very volatile situation, and not get like kind of ridiculous afterwards? However, I think that it was really fucked up, because like, you know, I was bugging, and like at one point my friend was like, Tatiana, like, you need to calm down, da da da, and my other friend was like, can you not tell the police, Tatiana, because like, you know, like, do you see what's going on? Like, don't tell her to calm down. Don't tell her to be quiet. You know what I mean? And like, that's the thing. Like, I wasn't gonna like calm down. Like, I'm sorry, but like next time, God forbid this happens to you, but next time any one of you are in a situation where your life is in danger, please let me know if you can, if you had any fucking thoughts about whether or not you're being too loud. You know what I mean? Like, that's really not my problem. So, and I found out later that that's why they left. Not because the gun dude came again, because they felt some type of way being told not to tone police somebody. And it was like, wow, bitch. But it's like, you know what? It's like I can't even get into that anymore because it's like that shit was like hella unfortunate to me. But like at the time, like I said, we were all trapped, and like next thing you know, like we all decided to make a run for it through the back door, and we go down the back, and you know, some of us run this way, some of us run that way, and we end up like coming through the side of the house. And I just like, I remember feeling like this is some war type shit, and this is not the first time. I was also, you know, in a situation earlier in New Orleans where I felt like I was in wartime, like I was being chased by the fucking police on some fucking crazy shit. And so in this situation, I'm like bugging because like I'm going through the side of the house. I look up, I see my window, and I see both my doors open. So I know this person already done got through. So now I'm hella scared. And you know, we're just trying to get out the front door. Like we're trying to hope that like by the time they get into the room, we are already making it to the front of the house. But what ends up happening is we are on the side of the house when they running back to the front of the house. So we don't know this, but then we start seeing heads pop out the side of the porch. And when we come up, we seen that it was Katie and this nigga that she invited into the house to use a gun to get us the fuck out. And so I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, can you please not shoot us? I'm like, I was like, we're leaving. Can you please not do anything? Can you please not harm us? And it's us just like begging not to be hurt, begging not to be harmed. Very traumatic. Like all of us just like pleading and asking like, you know, not for nothing bad to happen to us. And then like the whole time we're like getting our shit into the car, you know, Katie just standing on the fucking, like this is like the picture. This is the ending of me living at that place. I come around, I go to get in the car, and I look up and I see Katie standing there with all these black men on the fucking stoop. Some of them are my neighbors, some of them are people that live on my block, some of them I've never seen before, all holding it down for this one white bitch. Child boo, I lost my fucking mind. I was like, that is a motherfucking sad fucking sight. It's such a sad fucking sight, honestly. And she over here acting all rah-rah on the fucking porch talking about something. Yeah, I thought so. I told y'all I don't play. And I'm sitting here like, Jesus, take the wheel, because I can't. And as the situation progresses, you know, we get out of the house and we're all safe, but it's like, where the fuck do I live now? Because like I moved out of this space, and I wasn't trying to move back here, not because I didn't like it, but because like I moved out. Like I had a new plan, and like my plan wasn't to come back here. And so when I came back here, I started feeling some type of way, like, damn, you know, like what's going on? Like what is the universe trying to tell me? What's happening? You know what I mean? What's happening? Because like even before this shit popped up at my house, it's like when I moved into that house, I kind of like started like kind of losing my way a little bit. Like I wasn't doing tarot card readings like I was supposed to be doing. I was like rescheduling shit. And it's because my vibe was fucked up in that house. So it was fucked up in that house for me. And like now that I'm out of that house, my vibe is like getting back on. But it's like I'm like really like trying to just get my whole shit together. And I'm just really trying to regroup. Because like I was like, I don't know, it's like, it's weird. It's like, I know that you're never done growing, but I felt like I came to a point in my growth where like things were supposed to be working for me, and I guess like that's where I fucked up, expecting things to like work out. But at the same time, I just couldn't believe that like again in New Orleans someone pulled out a gun on me, and like that's why I'm leaving New Orleans. Like this is insanity. And it's like, it's weird. The weirdest part is I don't want to leave New Orleans. Like I'm already like trying to make plans to like come back, because I already made plans to leave with the help of some of my followers, and I appreciate y'all, really truly do. And you know, me leaving New Orleans, it's like, if it looks like it's like I'm defeated, then like let it be, you know, let it be. Like how, like what can I say, you know, like I wanted to be here, I wanted to do this, I wanted to be in New Orleans living the dreams that I have. And it's just like it didn't work out in the way that I thought. And before I really had time to like really like kind of turn myself around, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, cause like not only that though, but I've been like, I haven't talked to my mom in a couple months, like cause we had a falling out, and I've just been feeling some type of way about like our relationship, and like I really want to like try to give her another chance, like really like be like a family, but at the same time I'm just like trying to figure out like if it would be a sacrifice that I'm willing to make if it doesn't work out the way I want it to work out, and me just trying to understand like what it means to like really strive for something, because it's like like every time like something bad happens to me, I do run away, and like that is like not because I want to run away, but because like I don't want to be feeling that feeling, and like I would prefer to feel that feeling amongst people who love me versus like amongst like a broken ass like dream, you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at. Like I would prefer to be like in Connecticut or in Massachusetts, like dealing with people who like have known me for a while, that you know that I can like remember like fond memories with, versus like me being in New Orleans and feeling like everyone that I'm looking at is like has either been affected by some shit that's happened to not only me but them, or has been like, or has felt some type of way based on what's happened like in this situation. And as I said, like the people that are like living in this house, like this is where I used to live. This was my old room. It's not my room anymore, obviously, because like there's none of my stuff is in here. But like I like appreciate the people at the Keelanville house so much for like being there for me, because like I was trying to say, like when I did my tiny chat debrief, like if you could only imagine like trying to like run for your life out of like your home, and to have no fucking clue like how you're gonna do that, like to be like in this moment where like your whole mind goes blank because you're like, what can I do? Like what can I do? And to have like the people here who are with me just be like quick thinking and be like, all right, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, Tati do this, Tati do this, you know, just like follow me, do this, like, you know, like it just made me feel like shit, to be honest. It made me feel like shit, because it's like I want so badly to be like in control. I never stopped to think about what responsibility that was, and like how much like that meant I had to like change, and like why control wasn't like that important, you know, in the grand scheme. And it was control that like made me leave, you know, the Keelanville house. I felt like I wasn't like being heard enough, and like it wasn't so much I wasn't being heard enough, it was just I wasn't saying anything like worth listening to. And there's nothing wrong with being honest about that. Like sometimes you contribute shit that doesn't really matter, but I felt like I was bringing things to the table that weren't like really necessary, and I feel like when I left, it was able for me to kind of clear myself and say, wow, like I'm really like out of control with like how much I want to be in control of things, and how much like work goes into being in control of something, and how like I can't just feign control and like not really be doing anything proactive towards being in control, really. So like it really fucked me up to like be in that situation. It really fucked me up to have to deal with that shit. Like just thinking about it, like really like it brings me to like a very scared place, like where I feel shaky, because like I just can't imagine like going through that shit again. And that's not to say like that will never happen to me again, but it's like as far as people saying like, oh, like, you know, this is your fault or something like that, it's like, wow, like it's my fault that like I wanted to, it's my fault for jumping into something without really like having any like knowledge of what I was jumping into. I'll attest to that. Like had I known my roommate B better, I probably wouldn't have, you know, lived with them. But you know, the gesturing that they were doing, all of the groups and the meetings that they were going to that made me feel like they were radical and political, it was all bullshit. It was all gestures. And like looking back, like I feel really stupid, and I feel very like naive. But you know, also I was manipulated, and like it sucks. Like it sucks to like, it's the thing that sucks about this is like as much as I love like talking and like being able to share stuff, it sucks to be like, yo, on the real, I fucked up, or like on the real, I did some dumb shit, or on the real, like I'm like not right in this situation. Like it sucks, but it's real. Like it's real life, you know. It's not, everything's not gonna be peaches and cream, you know. And like as much as like bad shit happens to me, a lot of great amazing stuff happens to me, you know. Like I wish I would have been like more on making videos more frequently, because like a lot of wonderful like serendipitous things happened this summer that were like really beautiful, or rather like this spring. And I know that like only more amazing things are gonna happen for me as time goes on. But like I really do want to come back to New Orleans. I'm thinking of coming back in like fall time, and just trying something new. Like my next like big idea, I suppose, is I want to still do tarot, but I also want to like run like, I also want to do like a reality show, like not one that like people make like on TV, I suppose, but like one that like shows like black radical people like doing real shit, because like not being able to see like black radical people is like a real big problem for me, and like trying to find resources, trying to find links, trying to find like support, it's just like not out there. And I feel like that's something more important for me to be like invested in. And again, to address anyone that's like mad about me like changing my mind, welcome to life. I'm sorry that like you always known what you wanted to do, or you've always known what you were made for, but like that's not me. I constantly am fucking it up. I constantly don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I put my fucking brave face on and I try. And if it doesn't work out for me, it doesn't mean that I fucking don't try again. It just means that I need to like fucking do some self-care and really heal myself, and that's where I'm at. So I also wanted to just add, you know, there were some people who asked me for my PayPal. I'm gonna give that information out again. If people want to like shame me for like needing help financially, that's fine. You know, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, what, I'm gonna get mad? Whatever. If you want to be mad, then be mad. But like, my PayPal information is in my description bar. I'm also including the PayPal information for one of the members of the Quilombo House. I would appreciate it if, you know, you wanted to donate to them on my behalf, and also like just like know these people, because they're amazing. They're all like really special to me, and like they all have like done things that are like really significant in my life, and like have really helped me in so many ways. And like, so if there's any way that you could like donate anything to them, or even like check out my Tumblr, because I am selling a few things for them on their behalf, and all money is going to them. You know, just let me know, or you know, go in the description bar and like see the links. Like I said, you know, I'm already like going back to Boston. My plan is to, you know, continue to do tarot. All the people that have paid me for tarot that I rescheduled with because of this recent situation, please know that like I'm here. I'm just like not in the headspace to do tarot card readings, and I will be. I know I will be, but like it's been taking me a minute to kind of get myself together. Like to even make this video was really helping me feel some type of way. So I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for wanting to help, even if you can't help, like wanting to send positive vibes. Like that's good, you know. I can't never get enough positive vibes, I'll tell you that. So thank you for watching. Like I'm gonna make more videos, obviously, because I'm gonna be back in boring ass Boston, so you'll see more videos frequently. However, I am like I'm taking my time, yo. I'm taking my time, because like I just really feel like depressed, and I feel like my pride has been like kind of shaken, and it just really like hurts right now. Like I'm really hurting right now. So I appreciate you for watching this and like just taking the time. All right, so take care. Thank you for watching, and so long.